Right. Hello. Hello, goblins. It's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. What a lovely week it's been. It really has been a great week. I don't know why. I've just really enjoyed it. I'm smoking some JF Jermaine Dark Flake, Rich Dark Flake, just because somebody mentioned it earlier this week, and then I thought, yeah, I've got to smoke that now. And I'm drinking. This is really interesting. I'm drinking Iron Brew, but I don't know what it's like in countries other than England. But here now, it's almost impossible to buy a soft drink in a shop without sweeteners. And I cannot abide sweeteners. I cannot tolerate them. So you wind up, trying to find what alternatives work. And I found Mr. Fitzpatrick does these cordials, and he does Iron Brew. They call it Iron Brew Tonic. They also do a root beer, but I got a couple of bottles of. And then just mix it with fizzy water. That's not a paid advert. But if you're in the UK and you can't stand sweeteners either, there you go. This week I've been watching Culinary Class Wars, a Korean cooking show. It's a mix of cooking, like cooking show with game show sort of element. It's quite unique. It pits initially 80 what would you call 80 established chefs. So like these are chefs that have their own restaurants, their own businesses, but they're just like normal, like family businesses type thing. And they pit them against 20 high flyers, a mix of Michelin star chefs, and just people big in Korea's food world. I have to state it's a Korean program, and it's just a lot of fun. All the chefs have got like superhero names, like God of Seasoning. One of them is called Comic Book Chef. Then there's Self-Made Chef. Yeah. And then there'll be King of Teriyaki Chef, things like that. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, all right. Let's have a look at some pipes. Now, last week I made a red and black acorn and was kind of a little bit inundated. So I did my best this week to make some more. And so I did. One of them's already gone. I made 3 red black acorns. One of them sold. 2 are available, and then there's another pipe to show you. So the first red, they're all different. You'll see how. Because I'm not a machine. I get I decided at the beginning of the week, alright, I'm going to make 3 red-black acorns, and of course all of them come out differently. We'll have different, you'll see. So, acorn number 1. As you can see, red-black contrast, really prominent ring grain, like really prominent. Straight grain bands running along the shank. Nice blast. Flat rim. The blast revealing some of the soft grain. Crimson Cumberland stem. So acorn number 1 that's available. Acorn number 2, a longer spur at the bottom, plateau rim. Straight grain along the shank. With this guy, the straight grain is more defined. That's just the way that these things go. And some craggy-ish plateau. Crimson Cumberland stem, of course. So, contrast and compare. There you go. 2 red-black acorns, one with plateau, one with a flat rim. Pick your poison. If you're interested in either of those 2 acorns, best thing to do is email me at devilsreef@gmail.com. And the last one, this guy has sold. Slight variation. Nice prominent ring grain. You can see the straight grain quite well defined. Straight grain along the shank. Plateau rim. Crimson Cumberland stem. But this guy, for the first time ever, Crimson Cumberland accent on the shank. Not something I readily do, but when I was doing 3, just needed something, a little something. So there you go. 3 acorns this week. The boy finishes school for this year, for this school year, today at lunchtime, which it nearly is. So, yeah, he's going to be skulking about now for 6 weeks. That's interesting. He's been building for the last couple of weeks a magic deck based around, this is Magic the Gathering, based around Grand Arbiter Augustus III. And it started as a rubbish deck initially. The commander's design is to make his cards cost less and everybody else's cards cost more. But now he's stuffed it so full of janky cards, it's nearly impossible to fight him. It's like, I remember the last game I had, due to various enchantments he's got on the board, it was costing me 15 mana and 2 life to attack him with 1 creature. Lots of cards like Propaganda and things like that. Dreadful. Alright, now, the last pipe. If you remember last week, does anyone remember last week? I showed the stummel of a collab pipe between me and Aidan Hesselwood. And I finished it this week, and I'm going to show it to you and talk about it. It's got a few nice elements. If you remember, this is the Pallid Dancer. It does actually sit. I gave myself stomach ulcers making it sit. But obviously I don't have something to sit it on. It sits about like that on the little flat bottom there. You have to finesse it. You can't just plonk it down, but it does sit. I don't know why I was insisting that it had to sit. Anyway, well, because it's a variation of the ballerina, and this is such a cool shape. We did this. I shaped this doing the shape first method, and because I'm not au fait with drilling that, Aidan drilled it. So let's go over what's going on here. So this falls into a class of pipes like what would fall into it. So if you're familiar with the elephant's foot, if you're familiar with the Ramses pipe, this fits broadly into that category of pipes, whereby the block is orientated with the plateau on this side and the straight grain, so you get the straight grain fanning from top to bottom. So you can imagine the centre of the burl being like somewhere here, so it fans out like that. If this was a smooth, all of that would have been bird's eye. But it's not, because actually I could have done it as a smooth, but I chose to do it as a sandblast. So you get the lovely straight grain fanning on this side, Come on, do it. And on this side too. Small patch of bird's eye around here. Straight grain running that way up the shank. That is mammoth ivory. Ring on the shank. It is my sepia resin. Which is lovely. And I chose to do a black and yellow contrast on this guy because yellow is the theme for because the Pallid Dancer is the servant to the King in Yellow. And I chose to do, this is a chemical staining, the black is. So it's not a black dye, it's an old technique, but it's really useful because if I was to have done this in a black dye, I'm going to put this down. If I was to have done this in a black dye, then when I put the yellow stain on, the yellow would have picked up some of the black and dulled the finish and also discoloured the yellow. And because black is based on blue, it would have given the whole thing a green tinge. But when you do the chemical stain, which is, if I remember now, so I've got 2 bottles of it, but I haven't made it up for a long time. One is tannic acid, which is really just, you know, tannins in tea. It's concentrated tannins. It might even be just concentrated tea. I don't think it is. It is brown though. It looks like tea when you make it up. And then you make iron acetate. And when those 2 things, so what you do is you stain with I've just said it, you stain with the tannic acid, and then when you put the iron acetate over the top, the iron acetate oxidizes the tannins and they go black. And so it's a non-dye. It's not a dye in the same way that the yellow is. So they don't interact is the point. That's the point. The point is the 2 colours don't interact. And it gives you just a really nice contrast, really stark contrast. Clear? So, Pallid Dancer. Very pleased with her. Very unique pipe. Oh, all right. Calm down. That's it from me. Oh, you really are just going to... Oh, no, you're not. I thought you were a fly. You're a bee. Well, all right. I should be back next week. All being well. And it should be. Well, you really are just going to buzz me. There's no flowers in here, dude. Okay. I'm distracted. I should be back next week, all being well. Till next time, take it very easy. Your loyal pie maker.